banners on global, or the banner, should I say, for global is about to drop. You know, we're not that far off, of course, so might as well give my thoughts on Yoshinobu, of course. He has made his return on JP as well through the yellow-green filler banner, which the green filler banner, which I wasn't aware of. Not gonna lie, I did read 2 multis and got absolutely shafted. Kind of expect, bro. How was it that it's a harder hunt to get this SR than it is to pull SSRs? So that's the world that I'm living in right now, god damn it. But anyway, just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of this character. So as I've said before, when it comes to the free multi or just, you know, trying your luck within the banner itself, if you can at least walk away with Yoshinobu, then count that as a W, walk away and prepare for half anniversary. I think that's going to be the way forward. So he is a debuffer, he's a good one at it. He's pretty, well, I say he's pretty, he is top tier. He is being used in the more higher stages, the more difficult stages, of course. So but yeah, he's got the affiliation of Kyoto Jujutsu High Officials. So going through his skills, just to give you guys an idea, I'll do level 10 just to make it easier. Deals 120%, decreases selected enemy Jujutsu damage by 15%. If alternate tuning state is active, changes the skill to deals 150% more damage. And then when it comes to the increases the selected enemy's damage received by 15%. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. There you go. So that's the change. So obviously, technically speaking, this unit has 2 movesets in terms of depending on when you activate the skill 2, because it changes it. So there you go. Goes from Jujutsu to damage received. So I guess in like an overall matter, that'll be a bit of a big W. That's on the first skill. All right. Second skill. This is when you do the change. So increases own Jujutsu damage by 10%. Sorry, no, there we go, 15%, max it out. And then activates or deactivates the alternate tuning state. So if you deactivate the tuning state, there is a 2-turn cooldown, if I can remember correctly. But yeah, you get to choose basically, which is very nice. So there's that. And then when it comes to the third skill, there we go. So it's only 5 cursed energy for that, and then 25 cursed energy for the second skill. Also, sorry, for the third skill, my bad. So 180, this is AoE, this does AoE damage. Increases all enemies taijutsu and jujutsu damage received by 37%. Yeah, so this is pretty nice, and it's on for 4 turns too. If the tuning state is active, then then the effect skill will change. Deals 150 jujutsu damage to all enemies. Inflicts confusion status to all enemies at near enough a 50% chance, but it's on for 3 turns. You also stun the enemy, and then this will always take last action. Yeah, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, there is a bit of a toss and turn on how you want to go about using the second skill, because obviously now with the third skill, you're losing out on the major debuffs, and you're now resorting to kind of nullifying the enemy in terms of stunning them and applying confusion. So, and keep in mind, when you do turn this off, there is a bit of a cooldown to it. So that's the only little bit of a catch on when it comes to using this unit. And I will say a lot of people do maximize the debuffs that he can apply. And so when it comes to, you know, applying the tuning, it's only for once in a, I mean, to be fair, it's not that often that you would need to activate it, but you have options. You know, if things go south, I mean, well, then again, you would have to waste a turn to prepare for being able to apply confusion and stun, but it's an option. It's there. It's that play around room. So those are the skills in question. And then the ultimate itself deals at 719. That's where it caps at. It's AoE. Decreases all enemies damage dealt by 50%. If tuning is involved, then you'll do a lot more damage, 959. Keeping up with the AoE. This time round, you're no longer doing damage dealt, or decreasing all enemies damage dealt. You're decreasing the enemy's ultimate count. So there's different ways to go about handling the situation by having, technically speaking, 2 sets of movesets on this unit. So yeah, this is an SR, by the way, so just so you know. Combination, range taijutsu to all enemies, increases own and combo allies jujutsu damage by 15%. fills non-combo allies ultimate skill gauge by 110, so yeah, I do like that combination. And unfortunately no passives to play around with, but that's pretty much the premise of Yoshinobu, of course. Yeah, my honest opinion is this is pretty much, I mean, if we can walk away with this one character, then I think that'll be a fairly successful summon, if anything, especially with the free multi, at the very least walking away with this unit. But no, overall this unit is pretty top tier in terms of just, you know, having that support role. First, second slot is typically where you're going to be keeping him at. In terms of the memory card, you're really just going to be pushing for if you want to add more defense to your team. Maybe you want to apply some cursed energy for you, like that support role, ult chasing, all that type of memory card. You can throw that onto Shinobu, of course, and you can utilize it from his side in terms of benefiting the whole team. But when it comes to weakening the enemy, piling it on, of course, that's what he's there for. That's what he's there for. And having coverage between both being physical and Jujutsu, a lot of people do choose to utilize that in order to maximize the damage output, of course. He himself does actually possess a decent amount of power too from an SR. You wouldn't really expect it, but not to be slept on. Not to be slept on. Has got some decent sub DPS support damage output. Yeah, we'll give him some props. We'll give him some props. I've seen some people drop some numbers on him, so fair play on that one. But pretty much that's that. Yeah, the main reasoning on why a lot would actually cater to this man. Not really much so for the stun and the confusion that he's got going on and whatnot, right? With the alternative play that you can choose from, it's more for so that, you know, you can bump up the enemy's damage received intake, their Jujutsu damage intake, their both taijutsu and Jujutsu damage intake. Of course, the ultimate itself also helps out with a huge amount of damage dealt increase towards the enemy, being about 50%, of course. So like with the skill 3 and like the ultimate alone, having that piled onto the enemy in terms of the debuff, because obviously with the skill 3 you can just kind of stack that up, go over the ultimate, of course. And so as an SR unit, and having that much coverage towards allowing you to do more damage with the amount of debuffs that this man can apply, and the amount that you can stack, and like what the level 10 can produce in terms of percentage wise, it's a lot. It really is. So just to confirm, so that you guys are aware, yeah, the Shinobi is a character that is utilized in the more high stages, more difficult stages, as a debuffer slash support type character. He is one of the best that the game has to offer. In terms of right now, when it comes to SR coverage, obviously Yaga is forever going to be the favorable one. The SR version, that is, of course. I've spoken about how I feel about the SSL one, which is fantastic, but it's on the same line of like Yaga, SR Yaga, of course, in terms of their usability, in not just their specific monotype team, but in general, in an overall basis, they have that coverage. So that's why I say, when it comes to the Yaga banner, of course, that it is, you know, the best support banner that the game has to offer, due to the fact that you've got SSR Yaga, who's a fantastic character for the support role, and in comes an SR character that is also a fantastic character for their support role, of course. So 2 top tier support units releasing. So that's just my honest opinions of how I feel about this unit. Again, fantastic debuff. If the enemy doesn't get debuffed, then it's kind of one of those awkward situations, like, oh, okay, well, this is awkward. But again, to have those options to where you can stun, confuse, reduce the enemy's ultimate count, whatnot, that's just a little bonus, as you could say. Again, this is all coming from an SR character. And this is the last new SR character. I don't know what happened, I don't know why they quit, but we haven't had an SR character in a very, very long time. So yeah, not sure what's happening there. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to go over this unit briefly. I really should have spoken about him in the Yaga video, but it is what it is. I just kind of wanted to also make sure that you guys are aware of this man himself. So once again, if you are going to be in for the banner, I wish you all the best of luck as per usual. It's a good banner. I can't deny it. You know, you got an SR and you got a SSR unit, both good support characters, top tier. And again, if you're free to play, utilize your free multi, see how things go. If you really want to push it, maybe drop 1 or 2, but after that, just save for the half anniversary. They'll come back, they'll do reruns and whatnot, so it's not the end of the world. I mean, they've brought back Yoshinobu, of course, so I have my chance to pull him if I get lucky. If I get lucky. The fact that I'm saying that for an SR character, bruh. Anywho, just kind of wanted to give my final thoughts on that one, but I wish you all the best in your pulls, and yeah, to those that are going to be skipping and saving, keep it up, keep it going. Half anniversary is not that far off.